What's up, all of the future tricksters and tricksetters watching this, VOD review on my YouTube channel. Basically, today we're doing the final live coaching session with one of my previous students. I've coached this guy already in a 1 month coaching, and we've covered a lot of the stuff. And today we just have to do like two VOD reviews on Abyss and on like Lotus on Raze. We're not gonna review his tracker, we're not gonna do anything special. He is mainly playing like, Jet and Raze as his main agents. And I think both of the VODs are on Raze, as far as I remember. Yeah, he is on Raze. He is currently Diamond 3. I firmly believe that this act he's gonna get Immortal without any problems. I mainly coached him on Jet and Omen, but he switched like from Jet and Omen to Raze, and essentially like this is probably not gonna go on my main YouTube channel, just the second YouTube channel. This is also the reason why I'm recording this is because this is the first time we're gonna talk about the Abyss like ever. Like I still have no clue what exactly we should do on this map. Like I tested some strats left and right, like a bit, but nothing too much in depth. So I'm just gonna give you like some basic guidelines, some general tips, what you should do on this specific map. And I think this is the 100th coaching that's gonna be uploaded on my second YouTube channel. So why not, why shouldn't it be the new map as well? So Abyss, Lotus, Diamond 3, Raze. Now the guy's here with us. Okay. Now you can just turn off the stream, like, don't... I don't want to hear myself two times. Yeah, you hear me watching it. So now, like, let's talk about this. We will talk about the Abyss, like, a bit more in-depth. Lotus, I'm not gonna cover in-depth because we already covered everything in regards of the Lotus. So let's move into this map. Hello from the past, future tricksters. Okay, now Raze and Abyss. I mean, she's fine, to be honest. Like, Jet is a bit better. Feature, by the way. Iso is a bit better. Chamber is a bit better. Like those, it's a very long range map. It's same as Breeze basically, but below Immortal 3 elo, like Raze is. I mean, team compositions don't really matter that much. Like you can carry the games with anything, to be honest. And Raze is like, okay, I mean, she can still clear a lot of the angles, do the nade here, boombot there, and make the pressure onto the enemies. I'm showing you my screen right now. You see it?
Yep. Yes.
All good. So we're starting on defense. Listen, on defender side of Abyss, like, basically, B site is your default site and #1 priority. A site is #2 priority. And mid area of the map, you only play when you want to play fast rotations between A site and B site. And a lot of times you will have to do that because it's a huge map, and essentially like just gambling on one site 60% of the times it's not the best idea. On a defender side, it's really good idea to take the A main control and A main area of the map, but of course you with Raze you cannot do that. You need some, like maybe an Omen one-way smoke or something. Like locking down the A main is really good to deny some of the map control, and locking the B site, the B main area of the map, is almost impossible. In the first, I don't know, like 4 to 6 rounds, you can try playing a bit more passively, but if you notice that the passive gameplay is not working, you can start lurking, flanking, trying to surprise the enemies and trying to see how they're gonna react on that playstyle as well. But also if the enemies have some kind of a sentinel that can F up your lurks and flanks, just do a rotations through the spawn and try to help your teammates as soon as possible. Now the first round, I would actually recommend you to like always start on B side. And what I do right now, probably I'm gonna figure out some better stuff in the future. I basically buy a shorty. Play a classic pistol shorty strategy right here. Like this is the first like long range map on which I actually do this strategy. So I will just buy a classic shorty and light shield with Raze, and I will start my round by maybe holding this angle, trying to delete one enemy, and then I will do a fast repositioning behind the site. And you're just waiting for the enemies to come here, bop bop, kill one enemy, take a classic pistol, we can pressure the rest of the enemies with a nade, and that's it. If the enemies are planting the spike on A, take a classic pistol and rotate onto A side. That is one thing that you can do. Second thing that you can do is buy the sheriff, and instantly I would try to abuse this off angle. This is a really good position because essentially you can hide from the enemy's recon abilities to some degree and surprise the enemies with a peek once the recon abilities pass you, such as Skydog, Sova Drone, Gecko Flash, etc, etc. Like this off angle I would definitely be abusing on the B side 2-3 rounds at least in different ways, trying to surprise the enemies and trying to kill them obviously. But in the first round there's no way I would aggress the enemies or anything like that. I would just play super passively. So you're either going with a classic short or buying a sheriff. I really don't see a reason with a Raze why would you buy a Ghost with a Boombot or Ghost with a Satchel, because majority of the duels are going to be like long range, medium range duels. And the only reason why I still force the classic shorty strategy is because we can get some easy kills if the enemies push us here carelessly. Now, you don't need to do a classic pistol shorty strategy. What you can also do is like a Ghost shorty. Why not? I mean, with the Raze, you know, fuck the Satchels, fuck the Boombot. Just buy the shorty there, buy the Ghost, you know, try to get 1 or 2 picks here, reposition at the backside. We can catch the enemies off guard when they're going there. Enemies are pushing close, bop bop, easy kill, and that's it. So that is another thing that you can try doing, because anyways, the only useful piece of utility for you in the first round with Raze is kind of your nade, and how you use your nade is more important than anything else. Let's see what you're gonna do and how you're gonna play this first round. So we're gonna start on B side with a sheriff. Okay. I don't know, I would actually recommend you in the first round to try abusing this off angle. I think people are quite unaware of it, and especially if the enemies don't have a recon agent in the team, it's quite easy to use that angle to, you know, kill the enemies when they're pushing through the beaming area of the map, or when they're pushing on the right side where the drop is. Because like you can just hide from the enemies, let your teammates take a first contact, and then on their contact, bop bop, kill them. Enemies are here, maybe we can, you know, do a nade, they will panic, I don't know, something like that. I mean, you don't need to do a nade, you can just drop down and delete that idiot there. So this angle here is also fine. I mean, I have nothing against it obviously, but and another reason why, like, you know, when you're holding this angle, you need to be aware that you don't actually hear the enemies that are dropping from the window. So, like, you cannot hold this angle for a very long period of time, because you might as well die from this position. Especially if the gun is blocking your vision on that angle. Like, that's why I kind of prefer this angle, because I can just take a few shots, drop down, and reposition, and, you know, basically contest the enemies from another off angle or another position. You know, the sound circle is just not catching the drop from the window. Okay. Listen, whenever you're moving, like, whenever you're playing on some kind of an elevated position, and there is a chance for you to take a fight with the enemies, always play on the edge of that position. You know, move like this, as long as you have some kind of a cover for yourself. Because here, if you picked a duel in the window, okay, you can go for one shot, instantly reposition, go for another shot, and for the peeker's advantage, with a perfect crosshair placement. Okay, enemies are mid. They're probably waiting for this wall to go down. I mean, that's what I would do. I don't know, like here, playing this angle when the enemies can peek you from the right side is mega risky. Especially if the gun is blocking your vision. Like, what I would also be doing here, I mean, if the gun is already blocking my vision on the right side, I'll basically be inspecting my gun to at least try to see that angle. Like, you know, a bit, essentially. Like, or just moving slightly more forward so that I actually see the enemies when they engage me from that specific position.
At this time of the recording, before you even said, I didn't know that it was a possible thing to get there without making noise. So yeah.
Here, like, you know, after you did this nade, instead of instantly engaging, like, I don't know, you were kind of not ready for this fight, like, in terms of your crosshair placement and movement. And also, like, I don't know, like, that first shot, like, probably, like, movement effed you up, like, more than anything else. Like, you just fired the shot before you were accurate, but it looked like the shot went onto that brimstone. Also, like, I don't know why you're spamming so much with the sheriff, like, brother. Take your time, like, you know. You pressure the enemies with a nade. Go for the headshot, like. You know, you never made these mistakes before, like, where you're spamming on this range with a sheriff. Also, if you want to spam with the sheriff, like, you know, crouch down instead of standing still. Did you crouch down here?
Yes.
I mean, you didn't. Like, because, you know, even with the pistols, like, you know, the bullet spread is much, like, smaller when you, like, crouch down. So here, like, if I already decide to go for a gorilla shots and I panic, I would crouch down. Just for a chance for these bullets to go in a lower spread, essentially. Because when you're standing still and you're spamming with the sheriff, I mean, only God can help you with killing that enemy. But you need to understand that when you drop the nade onto the enemies, they're under the pressure. It's not you're not under the pressure, like, man. You know, take your time for the shots. Like, here you had, like, so much time to delete that guy from the existence, and you wasted that opportunity because you just panicked. Plus, you had the deadlock trip there. That was perfect setup for you to get some easy kills. Also, like, you know, when you're like playing with your teammates in ranked solo queue, observe like how you can use them or their utility to get some easy kills. So I see these enemies pushing here like gorillas. Instead of wasting this nade, wait for the trip, you know, to be activated. Drop the nade that's gonna bounce like this and take easy kills on that KO. Or jiggle throw the nade from the left side. Now enemies need to peek on the right side. Easy kills. I don't know, you're just mega panicked here, but also like the shoot mechanical skill was non-existent to be honest. Now, if you win the first round on this map, in a second round, usually I would start around the mid area of the map with a outlaw, because only God knows where enemies are gonna go. People really like to lurk, flank, and default on this map a lot. Also, like, I mean, chances are higher that in this round enemies are gonna push A site, because we destroy their push on B, and also when you're equal in hull by, I think it's a bit easier to push A than B, because like on B side we have a lot of these long range fights that we cannot contest when we are equal in hull by on the attacker side. So okay, I mean, you can start on the A tower or A site, but I will still play a fast rotation between A and B on mid, and that's it. Obviously on this map, like whenever enemies are low buy or they have like they don't have money for the heavy shields, buy the outlaw, delete them, send them out, and that's it. Also, like how you're starting this round is not really the best, because like you know, window is always gonna get smoked. If I'm already gonna play A side in the first round with the outlaw, I might as well just play, you know, right here. You know, playing an off angle here, waiting for the enemies to push, holding this, bop, take an easy kill, reposition, make the numbers advantage, and play retake with your teammates. But if you play tower, like, I mean, you're definitely gonna get smoked, so, like, we're not gonna get any kills here. Probably. Unless enemies make... Ah, okay, we're actually... But also going for the aggro P here is something that I will not do alone. Like, basically here we have a problem where enemies can peek us from two different elevated positions, and they can peek us in the same moment of time. Also, for this, you know, position, I don't know, like, Ascendant, Immortal, and Radiant players should always have the absolutely best crosshair placement, and you should be deleted. I don't know, this is like unnecessary risk for an anti-eco round. Not really something I would do in this specific round. Okay, respect for the enemies, they actually force the marshals. And to be honest, like, yes, on this, Abyss is a slow rotation map, so it's in a category of Breeze, you know, Haven, Lotus, and your rotations need to be mega meaningful. Like, essentially, every single rotation needs to be based on some factor. How many enemies you see, what enemies usually love to do on a specific map, how they usually push something, are your teammates dead or alive. So, usually when one of your teammates dies somewhere, you either need to take additional map control on the opposite part of the map, or you just need to rotate as fast as possible. So this rotation, especially because it's an anti-eco round, is absolutely fine. Yeah, Marshall with a Marshall taking 2 kills on B. Generally speaking, I think that this map is the map that I'm gonna dodge more than Breeze, to be honest. Like, it is literally the cancer map on a defender side. Like, it's 10 times worse than Breeze. Rotations take too much time. And if you have, you know, an opportunity to dodge it, dodge the map, to be honest. Like it's not worth playing in solo queue. It's mega hard. As soon as you lose one teammate on one part of the map, it's, you know, it's over, man. Like, here we pulled a rotation on B side, and now enemies are probably gonna go A. Enemies can be anywhere on the map, like, it's just way too hard. But a good, you know, on a positive note, on attacker side, it's easier to play it. So, like, but the problem with this map is, like, I really think that you need to win at least 8 or 9 rounds on the attack if you want to have a single chance of winning on a defender side. So winning the first round on a defender side is mega important. And the first round on the attacker side. Now listen, on this map, whenever you're rotating, like, your angle clearing needs to be superb. Essentially, your angle clearing needs to be, you know, high tier level. Check every spot, every position where the enemies can be. Expect everything and anything. Because, honestly, like, enemies can be everywhere. Like, right now, for an example, you know, as my teammates are, like, clearing this angle, I will not actually look here. I will look there. Who knows? You know, maybe an enemy is waiting for us to rotate, holding this angle. He's gonna kill me. Maybe one enemy is already here, hiding, waiting for you to push. Bap. Like, you need to expect literally everything. Ooh, angle clearing can be much better. Like, you're positioning, like, you position yourself in a way where you're overexposed from way too many angles. Like, here, if I'm pathing through this position, jiggle pick this, clear this, jiggle pick this, clear this. Now, clearing this spot. Now, from this spot, clearing the tower and moving towards tower. I cannot end up here where I'm overexposed from that angle, this angle, this angle. Enemies can easily stand here, hide, ba-ba-boo, ba-ba-ba. Or ba-ba-boo, ba-ba-ba. Here, like, I mean, you made a classic. Like, I mean, generally speaking, like, there's nothing that you could have done better. To be honest, like, I mean, the guy just deleted you with the Peeker's advantage. Enemies can be anywhere. Maybe you pathed a bit too fast compared to your claw, and you should have waited for your claw a bit more, but it is what it is. It's a map where if you get like 3-4 rounds on a defender's side, you should be more than happy. And that's why predicting the enemy's pushes and observing how they push on the map is mega important. Like, you need to guess at least 50 to 60% of the times where the enemies are going to go next. In this round, for an example, I would actually gamble again on the A side, and I would play A side, only because, like, enemies push 2 times in a row B side. It's not like they had some kind of a success on B. They just, you know, like, I mean, Viper got, I don't know how Viper killed 2 of your teammates with a Marshall. That's insane. But probably because they played fucking Sheriff in a second anti-eco round. But I don't know. In this round, at least for me, it smells like it's gonna be the A push. Generally speaking, like, on this map, on the attacker side, whenever enemies are eco or hull by. Fuck all of this. Like when you're playing on the attack, just do a fireman push on A. Very clean push, clean bomb set to take. There's no reason to deal with the B set at all. And here I would actually play some kind of a classic pistol shorty strategy again on the B set and try to surprise the enemies. Yeah. That is manageable, and you can do that, but, you know, practice in a custom server.
I just messed it up. Ain't no way.
And this is why we should have played the A set in this round. I don't know, like, basically 2 times in a row, enemies pressured us on B. Their pushes were not really that successful. You're playing an eco round, like, when you're playing an eco round on a defender side, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to bother about taking the mid area of the map, bother taking the B main area of the map, like, just push A side on the attack. But yeah, I mean, in this round, you could have also went for the flank and lurk in this round. I mean, anyways, it's an eco round. In eco rounds, like, your main job is to trade yourself for as many kills as possible. Like, there's no way we're gonna win this round. Like, basically, our chances are below 10%. But if we damage the enemy's economy in this round, and we win the next round, then enemies have poor economy, and we can actually, you know, maybe snowball the game. Or just, you know, get back in the control. Okay, good nade. Okay. Okay, fine. It is what it is. Now in this round, I would actually play around the mid. Like you play, like on this map on the defender side, you play mid whenever you have no idea where enemies are gonna go. Simply to do a faster rotation towards B side and A side. Because like if you just gamble on one side, it's impossible. Like when you have no idea what enemies are gonna do, it's impossible to rotate in time to help your teammates out.
Can you mind if you can show me where I can play mid? Because I'm a little bit confused. Because I feel like always claustrophobic if I play behind the box.
But with movement agents, I would actually play behind the box, because at any moment of time, I can just reposition and I can use the satchels to, you know, go somewhere. Also, we can use this off angle to kill the enemies when they're close. I mean, you can also play here, just jiggle peeking the enemies and getting this information. You can play like in the B-link, you know, jump spotting the enemies and getting this information. Like, you don't really need to contest the enemies in a fight. You're just fighting for the information, nothing else. Then when you get the info, then maybe you can take a fight with a Ferrari satchel or something, delete one enemy, and that's it. Like, I play mid, like when I'm playing mid alone, I'm not really playing mid to guarantee a kill. I'm just playing it to rotate faster, or maybe to go for the fast lurk and flank if I have an opportunity to do that.
And also info, right?
Yeah, but here, like, you know, starting on A was too much of a gamble, especially when we saw that our teammates cannot really hold the bomb sites and they're just dying one by one. Here, listen, like, in Valorant, always prioritize the fights that you know that are gonna happen. Like, right now, rotating A, okay, enemies might go A right now. Maybe they play default, maybe enemies are already on the A side. But we know that KO is in the B main. We know that our Clove is fighting in mid. And right now, I don't care about A set anymore. Like, A set is already lost. What I care about is, like, I don't want to end up in a 3v5, 2v5, or potentially 1 versus 5 scenario. So here, I'm probably gonna fight with my Clove on mid, take this fight with the Viper, and try to equalize the numbers a bit. Or I'm gonna play with my teammates on B, because KO is really close, try to kill the KO, and then let's play a 4v4 retake on A side of Abyss. And generally speaking, on this map, like, same as on Breeze, as soon as you make small numbers advantage, 5v4, 4v3, 3v2, 2v1. Like, you're 1 man up. Fuck the map control. Like, just fuck the map control. Like, just fight, you know, fight with your teammates. Fight on a refrag potential. Because it's not worth it, essentially. Like, the map is just too huge, too big. Especially as the numbers are getting lower on the defender side, you cannot cover all of the choke points and all of the positions from which enemies can kill you. Here, like, as I said, like, instead of you doing this, you always prioritize the fights that you know that are going to happen at that moment of time. Like, whenever your teammates are taking some kind of a fight like this, you need to support him and play with him. And we also could have killed that KO, maybe. You know, instead of our Jet dying, and now we are 2v4. I don't know why you rotated on A. Like, that was a very blind rotation. You know, nobody knows if enemies are gonna go A. We just saw Viper and KO on B and mid. Like, based on what information you rotated back onto A side? Nothing. Like, just based on your feeling. If you're playing Valorant based on your feeling, like, then good luck. Then you're gambling a lot. Like, you're always playing based on, you know, the map that you're playing, team compositions, what you saw in the previous rounds, information that you have, and that's it. Like, the only information we had is that our Claw is probably gonna die in a 1v1 fight. Our teammates on B can die as well. I need to play on that info. At the end of the day, it would have been much better here to just play a 4v5 retake on the A side, if enemies do decide to go A, instead of now playing a 1v4 retake on the B side. And also, like, right now, it is time to save the weapon. I know there's nothing you can do. It's impossible to, like, retaking B side is mega hard. It's almost impossible, like, when you're in the numbers disadvantage. Like, here, just save the weapon, don't even bother, like, and that's it. Like, let's focus on winning the next round.
Spike planted.
I don't know, trying to win this round is just impossible. Like, there's a lot of, you know, a lot of things that need to align. Stars need to align for you to win this round. It's literally almost impossible. Because on B side, playing post on B side is the easiest thing ever. Like, I mean, you can always guard it, like, passively. This wall is fully spammable. We can just plant the spike there, you know, like, you spam this, ba 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 ba. From this position, you can spam also, like, ba 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 ba. And that's it. Like it's literally impossible to play the retake in a disadvantage. Okay, like, you know, generally speaking, in every, like, eco round, hull by round, you can go for a bit more aggressive play with a sheriff, with a, I don't know, like, guardian, some shit like that. If you already don't have money. So yeah, why not? Like, sure, in this round we can try to push mid. And we can try to contest the enemies a bit aggressively. To be honest, I would go here for a full flank. Why not? I mean, it's a huge map. We know that only Viper likes to lurk on the mid. Like, what I would have done here, like, in this eco round. Okay, passive gameplay is not working really for us. Let's try to take this space. You know, we can path like this, so this guy doesn't really see me. Then I can come up here, clear all of these angles one by one. Usually people are not really playing in the window, because why would they do that, like, when they're pushing B? And then I would just try to backstab the enemies, and that's it. Generally speaking, like, in eco and hull by rounds, you really need to be more proactive and just focus more on trying to surprise the enemies and diversifying your playstyle. And also on this map, like, I mean, you always want to prioritize playing, like, long range weapons, like, you know, Sheriff, Guardian, Bulldog, Outlaw, Marshal, Vandal. Like, it's a really long range map. Like, close range weapons, like, only keep the shorty with yourself, because, like, shorty is, like, you know, still a powerful tool to trade yourself in a close range fights if you end up in one. And also on this map, like, same as on Breeze, no matter which agent you're playing, you really want to get Operator in at least 4 out of 12 rounds that you play on a defender's side. Like, Op is mega overpowered on this map. If you hold the right angles, you predict the enemies, like, it's so easy to take the kills. Okay. Okay, sure. It's good that you're playing with your Fade. I mean, she's alone. Your Jet and Claw are playing on a refrag potential, so yeah. We can play together. Good that we checked the window. Very nice.
He's gonna res him, bro.
Get out of my way. One enemy remaining.
Good satchel. Ooh, that nade was mega wasted, man. I don't know. Instead of doing this nade, I would have saved this nade to basically fight this Jet. Going for a defuse here is fine because Jet is really disconnected from the spike. And your Fade, you know, can delay her, maybe get a kill. But yeah, sure, I would go for a half defuse here. But I would have definitely saved the nade because if the Fade dies, then with a nade we can easily pressure this Jet in some kind of a gunfight that can work in our favor. Okay, there's no way. This is like... This is done. Okay, good job. I would have also stick the defuse there. I wouldn't fight the Jet. Okay, in this round, like, let's see the enemy's economy there. It's yeah, like, very good economy. Okay, like, so here, once again, like, yeah, I have no idea where the enemies are gonna go. So I would just play on mid. But to be honest, in this round, like, chances are around 60% that enemies will go A, and 40% that enemies will go B. Why? Because, like, we just fucked up the enemy's push on B. So we can apply the rule of fear. And I would say that because of rule of fear, chances are much higher that enemies will go A. That's why in this round I would actually position myself on mid, but more towards the A side. Like, basically I would just be jump spotting this angle. And there is no way that I would repeat the same play, because that's one of the worst things you can do in Valorant. I mean, repeating this play again is way too predictable. If I'm the Viper, I would definitely observe this shit. I would probably even molly you behind this box, just to check if you're there. And also playing here alone, like this aggressively, I don't know about that. This is why I would have played more, you know, towards the A side and pre-assume that enemies are gonna go A, because, as I said, like, man, apply the rule of fear, AB rule. You're not always gonna read the enemies. You're not always gonna be right, but if you're right like 70-60% of times, that's still better than playing based on your feelings. Okay, then Boomot might be okay to apply the pressure. That nade there is actually okay. I mean, generally speaking, it's a bit better. Always if you save your utility for the actual retake. The Boombot was okay just to apply the pressure into CT, especially if I'm not going CT, just to, like, you know, help my deadlock, take the CT control easier. But the nade, like, you know, this guy already started planting the spike a long time ago. Instead of wasting this nade, it would have been much better if we save it for the execute. But basically then we can do the nade below the site to clear this angle for us. Then we have the ultimate with the satchels, take the easy kills, and then go for a retake.
Spike planted.
And when you're retaking B site, A site, I generally prioritize going through the CT because it's easier to isolate the angles and easier to actually, you know, clear the site methodically, one by one. Going from the tower is, like, really hard because, you know, if all of your teammates die here, you're in the middle of the open up there. Especially when you drop down, enemies can pick you from the main, from the site. Like, too many angles and too many opportunities to observe. Very good. Okay, that was unfortunate.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, solid retake. Solid retake. Okay, okay. I think that, you know, obviously you could have, like, saved the nade for the retake, but good retake. I mean, as long as we fight together, we have higher chances of winning this round. Now, in this round, I will once again play on mid, but more towards B side. Because, yes, we can use the rule of fear and AB rule to read the enemies. Like, chances are really high that enemies will go B in this round. Especially, like, on this map, whenever enemies have AoE ultimates, like they have the KO ultimate, Brimstone ultimate, Fade ultimate, they have like the, I don't know, like Killjoy ultimate, for an example, chances are 80% they're gonna push the B side because these ultimates are just more effective on that side. Like they can cover like very large area of the site and, you know, easily take it. Here against the Brimstone ultimate, there is a huge chance they're gonna hit B. But once again, I wouldn't really start on the B side. We need to have some information and gain some information on mid. So I'll be jump spotting the enemies here, getting this information for myself and my team, and basically then doing a fast rotation on B on tower.
Let's make some movement.
Especially on this map, another thing. You know, on Breeze, like, you consistently need to have information. How many enemies are mid? Can enemies be in the B tunnel, top mid, or in the A tube? On this map, you need to consistently have the information whether or not enemies can be mid. Like, if you don't have any Sentinels utility or Recon utility for mid, you're forced to commit one player to that area of the map. Because not having info on mid, you're opening such a crucial area of the map for the enemies to lurk, flank, and, you know, there's a lot of bad things that can happen for you on a defender's side. Oh, I don't know what was the plan here. Like, why? I don't know why would you do these two satchels. Like, before doing these satchels, I would definitely take my time to see how many enemies are mid and should I even do this shit. And then once I assess the situation, see like how many enemies are mid, where the fuck they are, then I would maybe go for some satchels, for the nades, boombot. Like, don't rush your utility out. Yes, Viper crossed there, but who cares? You know, it's better for, like, also, like, you know, especially using two satchels to get in this position is really bad. Because if you get stuck here without any help from your teammates and without any movement abilities, God help you. Basically, God help you. Like, enemies can easily F you up with their Molotovs, with their, like, utility, push you out, push you together, like, you're just stupid. And this is why we should always have somebody on mid that is gathering this information. They just do a surrender vote on a 3-4. Classic. Classic Valorant experience. Love it. Love this game. Buying Outlaw against the enemies that have heavy shields. You know, okay, it's a long-range map. Maybe it can work. But to be honest here, I would definitely go for a Vandal light shield, for a Guardian heavy shield, or even Bulldog heavy shield instead of the Outlaw. Outlaw I really only buy like when I notice that 3 or 4 enemies have less than 3,800 credits in the pocket. Also, you cannot hold this angle. Like if you're holding mid, so if you're holding mid from this position with the operator, sniper, whatever, you need to hold the left peak. Because left peak, like 80% of chances are that enemies are going to peek you from the left and not from the right. Because, you know, why would enemies do this when they could just go from mid? It makes more sense for them and it's faster. And also I cannot hold this because of the angle perception disadvantage. Like if the enemies are peeking me from the left side here, they already see the tip of my gun and body here. And I don't see them at all. They can get ready, delete me, that's it, surprise me. Good jump spot to get the info. The enemies are pushing A. This nade was okay. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Good. Okay. I don't know, like buying the Outlaw was just, I don't know. Like when enemies have a heavy shields, like I don't think it's worth it. Like literally, if you have money for a light shield and Vandal, just go light shield and Vandal. How much money you actually had in this round at the start?
Multiple fingers.
What the fuck? Just buy heavy shield vandal and what, you know, 2 satchels. Like what?
So like, why are you mad?
I don't know why I even bought the outlaw here. Ooh.
Player standing.
Okay. I mean, like, these type of mechanical problems, like, I mean, I share with you an enormous amount of aim training routines. Like, and all of these routines focus on all of the problems that are still present in your gameplay. Like, it's just a matter of time and practice when these things are gonna stop happening for you. Generally speaking, also, when you're using Outlaw, take your time. You know, especially if you hear the first shot, like, I think that you, in this specific VOD, you were just rushing things out too much. Like, you know, just panicking a lot. I don't know why you panic so much, like, because this never happened for you in the previous VODs that we did.
We have like stall util and you can't stall.
Once again, you cannot hold this angle. It's better to hold the left angle. And also, like, this is a save round for us. So I don't know why we are investing Marshall and Light Shield into this round. Well, we'll just buy a Marshall. And that's it. And also, I think that forcing Marshall on a defender's side is a bit better than forcing a Sheriff on this map. Because most of the fights are like medium and long range fights, same as on Breeze. And on Breeze and Abyss, like, I think against the enemies that have the heavy shield, it is much better to have a Marshal instead of the stupid Sheriff. Because with the Sheriff, you know, you hit a headshot 145, that's gonna hurt a lot. That's gonna sting. Okay. We can definitely surprise enemies here. Okay, 1 body shot, no problem. That nade was wasted as fuck, but I would have done it, definitely. We don't see enemies from here. Like this angle here, you're only using if the enemies are pressuring you already close. You know, like, you know that enemies are gonna push you. Like, that angle, otherwise, I would never play because you have no benefits of holding it, like, essentially. Except to surprise the enemies that are moving from the right side. That are maybe lurking and flanking.
Marshall.
Okay. Absolutely wasted satchel. That could have been very useful for the retake. Like, listen, please stop with this. Like only use your satchels for repositioning. Like, when you want to get some better timing to kill the enemies, and that's it. Doing faster rotations, I don't know, picking up the guns, like this is just a waste of a satchel. Oh.
One enemy remaining.
80, 80, 80, 80.
Okay. As long as we fight together, we win. Okay, good. To be honest, 4 rounds on defense, that's already a miracle and should already be a 1 match. Like, essentially, you know, like, Abyss is like a reverse bind. On bind, on attack, if you get like 4 rounds, the match is already won. Like, on defense, you should be able to easily get 8 rounds. On this map, on defense, you get 4 rounds. You should be more than happy. More than happy. Now listen, in this round, I would definitely gamble more towards the B side. Not only that enemies have the Brimstone ultimate, but they also have the KO ultimate. They know that your Deadlock, your only Sentinel, is playing on B. You know, people really have that idea. Okay, guys, I have a KO ultimate. Let's fuck up the enemy Sentinel, you know. On Sunset pushing B set against the Cypher, Ascent pushing B set with against Killjoy, that type of shit. So track the enemy's ultimate abilities, like, you know, that can tell you a lot of the times what enemies are gonna do, and especially after this previous round, which was a heavy hit onto the enemy's mental health, there's a huge chance enemies are gonna run it down onto the B side. I mean, I don't know, we're still gambling, but we're doing smart gambling.
Noise running away. Yeah, make noise run. I'm telling him to make
Dude,
noise.
they're gonna be B.
Here, like, basically, whenever you're rotating through mid, on this map, please keep the gun in your hands and just, you know, observe every opportunity, all of the angles. Especially if enemies have a guy that likes to lurk and flank. Like this Killjoy, this Viper, enemy Viper, like, he was always, like, somewhere on mid. So check every angle, clear everything, and that's it. And here, this is actually one bad thing that you're doing. Like, I would never go for a lurk and flank here if my teammates are still fighting on the site and they're trying to stop the enemy's push. I would actually try, in this full buy round, to support my Fade and make sure that my Fade doesn't die alone, and I try to capitalize on her life somehow. Like, yes, this might work. I don't know. Maybe. But this lurk and flank doesn't matter at all if your Fade is gonna die and if the Claw is gonna die. Like, right now, it's much better to just group up in CT, play together with your teammates, and that's it. Or try to help the Fade instead of, like, this is, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you just don't know, man. Now we are 3v3, like, yes, numbers are still equal, but they have the brim, you know. Now, my Claw is playing alone. I don't know when this guy is gonna fucking peek out. Yes, he has the ultimate, but once again, maybe he's gonna die in the ultimate as well. Jett is miles away from to support the Claw, so good luck with pre-assuming what your teammates are gonna do. And here, like, how you pick this guy was terrible. Like, you knew the exact location of this dude. Like, why would you... Like, this cross... Like, I don't know. Probably, you know, you didn't really... If you cannot distinct, based on the audio, where is an enemy, jump spot that enemy first, and now, with a perfect crosshair placement and peeker's advantage, delete that guy. You know,
Can I also ask?
Yeah.
Because of something that's been kind of happening with not just my headphones currently, just with all headphones.
okay?
I feel like sometimes I don't understand the position, even though I have the audio. I hear that they're in the area.
Same.
I'm always
Like,
sometimes wrong.
you're not the only one. Like, essentially, I also have the problems. It doesn't matter if it is, you know, if I have HRTF on or off, like, generally audio in Valorant is really, like, you know, can be fucked up sometimes. Like, right now, I played a match on Icebox. You know, I clearly heard the enemy Killjoy planting the spike on top of the site here, but the spike was actually below. So sometimes, yeah, like, you know, distincting where the enemies exactly are can be fucked up in the game. So it's not really your fault, to be honest. But one thing that you did really bad here is crouching in this fight. You know, like, generally in Valorant, you want to mimic the enemy's movement. Like, if the Brimstone is moving and strafing, you want to strafe and move with the Brimstone. If Brimstone crouches, you want to mimic his movement as well. Like, essentially, you should crouch. You know, you can go for the crouch peek on the enemies to maybe F them up and F up their crosshair placement. But if you already peek the enemy standing up, crouch only if you really need to, like, to mimic their movement or to reduce the recoil and spread of your weapon. Like, I would never crouch in this fight, for an example, because, you know, you just become a sitting duck. And then when the Brimstone mimics your movement, it's much harder for you to reposition your crosshair and spray onto the Brimstone. Anyways, at the end of the day, we could have engaged this Brimstone in a much smarter way. Like, this Brimstone definitely heard us. There is no way that he didn't hear our satchels on mid. Okay, Brimstone Zinho is like, down here, let's use a nade, and now let's go for a peek. Like, whenever you have an opportunity with Raze to pressure an enemy with your utility, do that. And then go for the peek, and then fight that enemy.
They are standing.
Like, the whole purpose of your utility is to create easier fights for yourself. Nothing else.
Can I get a drop?
And now, you know, because enemies started using that A, B, C, D, E, F, G pattern of pushing, I would have played on mid again, on the left side, more towards the A side, and play a fast rotation towards the A side. Also, like, chances in this round that enemies are gonna push A is very, very high, so maybe even contesting the enemies in the A main area of the map would be a good idea. I don't know, like, on this map, you know, playing this passively is not really the best idea ever. Like, players that are playing on A need to get the information how many enemies are here. Players that are playing B, you know, I mean, they cannot really play solo aggro, but if there's two of them, maybe they can take some space. But playing passively on Ace is really bad. Like on Ace, you really want to fight more for the aim and control. It's easier. You know, it's easy to fight for the aim and control on this map. That's the only main control that you can actually fight for on the defense. And here I would definitely do a mega fast rotation onto A because enemies are only pushing S5 all together. Easy read. I mean, there's nothing to read, basically. Okay. They faked us. No problem. That's why, as I said, like, you should contest the enemies in the aim and area of the map, not only to try to delay their push and stop them, but also to get the information for the rest of your team. Okay, I mean, as long as all of our teammates are alive, we're playing 5v5, we still have high chances of winning this round instead of losing the stupid numbers. Plus we have the deadlock ultimate. Ooh, this boombot was mega wasted, man. Like, here, like, I would not use this boombot for that angle. I don't know why would you do that. Because it would have been much better for you to clear all of these angles by just, you know, going in and jump spotting the enemies, and then using the boombot to pressure the enemy's backside or close here. There's just too many, you know, positions, angles that enemies can take in a post plant, and using the boombot to actually reveal and clear the bomb site is much better idea than using a boombot to, you know, scout for the, like here I would use the boombot only if I know that enemy is here. Why? Because then I can just pressure that enemy with a boombot and take an easy kill.
Spike planted.
We are liking.
Okay, another tip. When you're playing Raze and you're like playing against the Viper that has the ultimate, also try to save your boombot like for the to scout for the Viper ultimate in the pit. Like that's, especially if that is the only or one of the rare pieces of recon utility that you have. And also when it comes to this retake, like you rush things out a lot. You know, we have 5v5. Why would you go so deep into the enemy's lines? Like, see first if some of the enemies are close to you, if some of the enemies are CT, below you, and then once we clear all of the whole site, and only the Viper pit is left, okay. Let's try to pressure the enemies, you know, through the pit. Let's try to find the Viper, let's fight together with our teammates. You just rush things out way too much during this retake. You don't want to make so much a gap between you and your teammates if you're already 5v5.
We are liking.
Enemy remaining.
We actually won this round somehow. Okay. That's a good one.
Sorry, you fucking did. Neither of you guys are doing much better than him.
My luck.
This is where also, let me also say,
Mhm.
then team morale starts going down because the Jet saying, "Oh, you guys are horrible. I'm Radium, my main."
My brother, like, these type of players should never, like, impact you at all. Just mute that idiot and play your
no.
game. Like, just, you
Oh
know.
no. Their teammates are impacted though. That's the problem. So
I know, I
everyone
know.
starts not trying now.
I know. Now, listen here. I've told you in our coaching sessions that, you know, one of the main things that you should observe at the start of every round is the body posture of your allies, especially on defense. Like here, for an example, based on the body posture and what my Claw is doing, she's definitely going for the aggressive play. Like she has the map opened, the smoke open, and she's looking towards Amen. So that guy is going for an aggressive peek that I need to compensate and that I need to help her out. Like, whenever, like, basically, in the last 5 to 10 seconds of a preparation phase, you decide what you want to do, not only based on what enemies are going to do, what you think enemies are going to do, but also what your teammates are doing. Here, I cannot play on tower or start on tower because my Claw is going for some aggro play 100%. I need to connect with her, support her with a nade, boombot, or simply by fighting together with
Neither of
her.
you guys are doing much better than him.
My luck.
But staying on tower is gonna be interesting.
Focus on your gameplay before you start talking shit there.
God help us. Okay, she actually got a kill. 2 kills.
Right at single
Spike
message.
down A.
I'm trying to help someone with song.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. I mean,
Wait.
good job to the claw, but I mean, you could have supported that guy, and you knew what that guy is gonna do. Basically, all this should always be a habit that you develop, like you know, especially in this elo. Right now, you're in this babysitting elo, you know, like Ascendant 1 to Immortal 2, and you need to heavily pay attention to what your teammates are doing on both attack and defense. Like, take a look at the last 5-10 seconds of a preparation phase, like, you know, what your teammates are doing, and if they're going for some kind of a stupid play that you need to compensate. Now, attack of Abyss, theoretically speaking, should be much easier than defense. Now, you know, personally I feel that on this map, yes, B site is still kind of like your number 1 priority, and A site is number 2 priority. But A site is easier to push, B site is easier to play the post plant. That's the problem on this map. In the first 4 to 6 rounds on attack, I would not even touch the mid. You don't need mid at all. Like, why? Because rotations take enormous amount of time. Just be aware of lurks and flanks of timings for that, and that's it. Like, I would touch the mid only if the match is really going to shit. Like, I lose like 6 rounds by trying to do a 5-man push. Okay, let's try to take mid control. Let's try to fuck up the enemies there. Because if you just kill 1 or 2 enemies that are on site and plant the spike, these guys that are rotating from A at the mid, it takes them like 10, 15, 20 seconds to go from A to B, B to A. Now, on this map, as I said, we have a problem where pushing B site is harder, but playing post plant is easier. And on A site, like, pushing A site is easier, but playing post plant on A is like, I don't know, there's not a lot of good angles that you can hold, and you can easily get just stuck in the aim and area of the map and get fucked by the enemy team. So, I don't know. Like, I really think that one of the main patterns of pushing that I'm gonna use on Abyss is pushing the A site 3 rounds in a row, and then in the 4th round, faking A and going B. Because A site you can kind of push even if you're eco hull by. I mean, most of the times you should have like a Guardian, Bulldog, Sheriff, you know, as your primary like eco hull by and bonus round weapons. Like, if you win the first round on this map, like, always buy the Bulldog. Like, just, it's probably the best weapon. The best hull by weapon on the attacker's side. Essentially, like, you know, on B side also, like, people usually play Sentinels on B. So we want to avoid the Sentinels as well. But if you notice that enemies don't have a single idea, you know, how to play the B side, or they don't have any Sentinels, okay. I mean, you can do 3 times push on B, and then go A. In this team composition, enemies don't have a single Sentinel, so both of the options are fine. Pushing B set 3 rounds in a row, or pushing A set 3 rounds in a row. I just feel that there's less mistakes that your teammates can make when you're pushing A side compared to B side in the first few rounds. Because we don't know what type of teammates we're gonna get and, you know, how they're gonna play.
Oh, wow,
Is Omen good on Abyss? But I mean, on Abyss you kinda need to have like 2 controller, you know, double controllers to some degree. Omen is amazing. He has a lot of good outplays, so why not?
I'm so special.
I would definitely play Omen as a controller up to Immortal 3 on Abyss.
Type in a report, and that's what you meant.
Jump spot. Okay, we know that one enemy is close. You heard one enemy close, no? And also, why are you pushing this fast, like, in front of your teammates? Like, wait for your allies a bit. Like, I know they're tilting you. You're probably, you know, they're tilted, but like you know, it's a team play game. Like in the first round, what is the rule? We value the replay potential. We value our life. We don't want to go for some solo plays, solo gunfights, and it is the easiest round to play on a replay potential. Why are you pushing this aggro? Like, why is the distance between you and the second teammate so big? Plus, you have bomb. I mean, okay, carrying the spike is okay, even as a duelist. Because anyways, like, you know, obviously you're not gonna execute a bomb site with a spike. But, you know, a lot of the times in low elo lobbies and medium elo lobbies, I take the spike to navigate my teammates. You know, it's a mental game. Like, hey guys, I have a spike. Let's go A. You don't wanna follow me. Spike goes A. I don't give a fuck about you. You know? And then what I can do, obviously I'm not gonna do this with a spike. You know, execute a bomb site with a bomb. What I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna drop the spike here and then go for the execute. And in the first round of Abyss, but to be honest, like with Raze, I mean, you have, like, I don't know, man. You can go with a Sheriff, to be honest. It's okay by option. If you feel that your aim is crisp that day, sure, fine. You can also go with a Ghost and one Satchel. That is also fine, because you generally need only one Satchel when you're executing B side and A side. Because one of your main, you know, positions that you want to reach on A side is like here, and from that position to fight the enemies that are, you know, basically here, and I mean, tower should be smoked, like, hopefully. And when you're exiting B side, like, I always go from the danger, and you just need one Satchel to get up here, and then from that position fight the enemies, and that's it. You know, we can use the nade at the back of the B side so the enemies cannot peek us, and then do this Satchel. You can also buy a classic light shield and two Satchels, because at the end of the day, you know, your main job is not to fight the enemies in the main area of the map. Your main job is to get in the anal cavity of the enemy's team, and to fight medium range and close range gunfights. So all three buy options are fine. Also, you know, even with one Satchel, we can go for some kind of a play like this to surprise the enemies, clear this angle, maybe backstab the enemies. That is also fine to do. There's a lot of executes that you can do with Raze on this map. But, you know, your primary position which you want to reach, where you want to fight the enemies, is this right here. You know, that's where I'm trying to teleport with Omen as well. Like, I'm using a Paranoia here, TP here, and from this position, clearing the angles and fighting the enemies. And then, like...
Mind if you can show again one more time the Satchel? Yeah, right there.
It's just a simple Satchel, like... you're not gonna mess it up, like... It's really hard to mess it up, like... And you always want to end up on top of here. Why? Because your aim resets faster. Accuracy. Like, you know... You're very fast here. But if you go all the way... Ah, I fucked up, sorry. But if you go all the way here, you're spending more time in the air. And then, like, if the enemies are looking at you here, well, we're kinda effed up. Generally speaking, like, you know, when you're pushing the A set of Abyss, you should have a smoke. Let's talk about smokes. So, if you have a COV type of controllers, like Omen, Claw, like Astra, that type of shit. Listen here. You always smoke this and the bridge. Done. Like, this is your default execute. No city smoke. Who guarantees you that you will even get this part of the map? This part of the map. It is always better to smoke the first angles on which you're fighting the enemies. You're playing Omen on Abyss. Smoke this, Paranoimus Rex here. Plant the spike, go in aim in, play the post plant.
Is it still valid to do the one way on top of the box instead of doing the bridge smoke?
Yeah, you can also do the one way here. No problem. Sure. You can also do the one way for the bridge area of the map. And also, like, you know, when Jet and Raze are doing the executes, especially from this side, if you have a smoke for that, I just need to focus on these angles, killing the enemies here, we plant the spike, easy peasy. And when it comes to the Raze nade, I mean, you need to freestyle it a bit. You know, like, you know, you can drop a nade here to deny that peak of the enemies. You can drop a nade for the bridge to deny that peak of the enemies. There, you can also drop a nade here to clear the close range angles and potential sentinel trips. You can bounce the nade here to pressure potential enemy that is on the left side here. Like, you know, freestyle it. Like, based on information that you get, based on angles that you need to pressure, drop a nade. Like, maybe if you're going from left to right, like this, like, we can throw a nade. You know, airstrike nade there. As the nade is exploding, we do this. Enemies cannot play there, they're gonna be under pressure, and then we just need to focus on these angles and then focus on the bomb site. I don't know, if you're getting up in this position, you don't have a Paranoimus Rex for this spot. Okay, you know, bounce the nade from this angle, or basically, probably we can bounce the nade from this position, like that. Nade is gonna splatter, and then, you know, one satchel with a bunny hop, we reach this spot, ba 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 ba, and we take easy kills. That's how we enter the site with the Raze on ASAT on Abyss. And I don't know how we ended up here, but you're just pushing alone here. I don't know what the fuck is going on. That nade there was mega wasted, you know, take your time with utility. Like, what the fuck was that, bro? Like, like, aim a bit higher. It's actually, you know, like, you really want to methodically try to push, like, the ace. Like, with movement agents, one of your main priorities is always to get in this spot first. Get in that spot first, and then get the fights at the backside together with your teammates. So, you know, ASAT we divide in two sectors. We have, like, sector 1, and we have sector number 2. Like, you don't want to move into the sector number 2 before your teammates finish the fights in the sector number 1. You want to fight in the sector number 2 once your teammates start moving into sector number 2. And usually the best idea for you is to simply abuse the elevation of the bomb sites, and as your teammates are moving in, to fight the enemies from top of the site. So I would have, you know, what I would have done here is, like, I would have just done a nade. Your like, your fade. Reveal the enemies here, so we don't need to use the nade there. Okay, I'm gonna use the nade on the left side, so the enemies cannot peek my teammates there. Use one satchel, scout for the enemies, get in this position. Now I'm gonna wait for my teammates to move in and pick the first fights, and I'm fighting on their contact. Fighting this guy, moving in. Like, I don't know why you even peeked all the way here and try to get some fight at the backside. Whenever enemies are eco or hull by on Abyss, usually the best idea is to push the A set again. That's why I think that probably what I'm gonna do with the ranked playbook and what I'm gonna teach players is to push the A set 3 rounds in a row and then push B in the 4th round. You know, like, fake A, go B. Because, like, pushing B set when the enemies are equal hull by, I mean, there's a lot of these, you know, there's a lot of weird strategies enemies can use to fuck you up. A lot of angles that you need to clear and observe. So it looks, you know, A set is very clean. What are enemies gonna do? Like, clear the aim area of the map with a drone, with a something. You know, they can play like 1, 2, 3 positions, 4 at the back set as well. But we are smoking this. We need to clear this. It's more simple. Here, like, I mean, there's a lot of weird strategies you can use on a defender side, like, to fuck up the enemies, like, which I didn't showcase during this VOD review. Like, for an example, one of the great strats is, like, in eco halberd rounds, maybe forcing a sheriff, and you can basically get here, wait for the enemies to drop down or to be close, and then peek them in a window and take easy kills. Also, like, you can peek this spot very, very, like, basically all the way here and take the kills. I mean, it's risky, but anyways, you're playing an eco round, so even if you drop down, like, who cares? I'm not sure, like, how deep we can actually go here. That would be good to know, because if you can... Nah, it's impossible to hold that angle. Then, you know, with Raze, you can easily go for a Ferrari Satchel peek from this spot, because Satchel should be able to propel you all the way there. Now, I don't know how to do that. You need to practice that in a custom server, but this should be more than possible. Well, it's more than possible. Like, this peak is mega powerful. Like, if enemies are pushing through the beam-in area of the map, like, maybe you can use a nade for the window, and then surprise enemies with a satchel peek here and take the kills. It's better if you don't jump, to be honest. Like, if I'm pressing the... you need to do this without the crouch. Yeah, without the crouch. So just standing still and you end up on this spot. That's good. Why not? Like, I mean, in some eco round with a sheriff, like, you know, bop, taking one kill, surprising enemies, training yourself. Also, like, you know, you can hide here, wait for the enemies to push. Enemies are here, bop. Kill them with a satchel, literally, like, get them off the map, like, then classic pistol shorty here, like, abusing this off angle to kill the enemies that are pushing there, like, it's very, very powerful off angle, and you can take some easy kills. People don't really clear it well. Like, I'll cover all of this in my rank playbook on my Discord server once I, you know, construct my thoughts a bit better, like, how to abuse all of these angles and positions. But okay, I mean, we can push here, like, A-set, and I don't know about the Stinger buy. Sure, fine, I mean, probably is gonna be good because we're pushing A-site, but the problem is then in a bonus round you're kind of fucked with a Stinger on this map. I think that in the second round I'm just gonna be forcing, like, Bulldog with a heavy shell 24/7. Like, it's just, you know, Bulldog is a gun that allows us to fight long-range fights, medium-range fights, close-range fights, like, very versatile weapon, especially made for the maps such as Breeze, Icebox, and Abyss. Okay. Okay. I don't know what was that boomer that you did there, like, I mean, listen, to be honest, like, I mean, yeah, like, sure, like, you can clear that angle with a boombot, but I don't know why you jumped here and did it like that, like, just throw the boombot like this, fuck it, like, send it, and it's gonna clear that angle.
Can you show me how I did it again? I think I was trying to get the right side if I was wrong.
I don't know, you did something like this, like, and then it bounced, like that.
Yeah, that was probably trying to get the right side.
I mean, basically, when it comes to the boombot on A side, like, I would just send the boombot, like, either to clear the right side or to clear the left side, and with an aid, I'll pressure another area of the map. Like, probably, I would say that the best execute with Raze would be, like, clearing the boombot, clearing the right side with a boombot, and clearing the the left side with an aid. If you already don't have any recon abilities for this, and then doing an execute onto the site, you know, and then we fight the enemies at the back side together with our teammates. Please, like, always remember, man, like, you know, precise utility that is slow is always better than rushed out utility that is not precise, like, that is just missed. Like, take your time. Like, never be pressured, like, and if you don't have a time to do some utility, don't do it at the end of the day. Like, this boombot, this nade, all wasted. If you don't have time to do it, or you're not precise with it, like, just save it for the postman, fuck it, like. Now, when it comes to postman, like, personally, you know, like, you need to position yourself based on what your teammates are doing. Like, your teammates want to push the enemy CT, push CT. Your teammates want to play on site, play site. Like, essentially, how deep your teammates are playing depends how deep you should play the postman. Ultimately, I think if you plan the spike, you know, for the bridge, or you plan the spike in this angle, you can just play a postman from A main, and that's it. You know, playing maybe on this off angle with a satchel, and then surprising enemies with a peek and taking the kills. If you're playing on the site, I would always prioritize playing more like, basically, I mean, it depends what your teammates are holding, to be honest. Like, one area of the map that I would really avoid, if I'm playing on the site, is playing here and playing around the bridge. Because you can easily get stuck and completely effed up by the enemies. But playing here is fine, sure. Playing around this area of the map, watching the CT, fine. You know, playing on the actual site, just holding the tower, also fine. But I would just avoid this dead zone area of the map right here in the post plants. Because if enemies, like, flash you, they push you with utility, like, you also might just slip out of the map, to be honest. That's a crazy kill, to be honest. And also on this map, always be aware of potential lurks and flanks. If you don't see 1 or 2 enemies for a very long period of time, chances are really high that 1 or 2 enemies are actually behind you.
One enemy remaining.
Like, there's that for an example, you know. Like, there was a chance she was in the main. Okay, okay. We push A again, and we fake A, go B. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Hopefully we do that.
I'll find you. Bring them down.
Okay. Listen, like, you know, if enemies give you a smoke here, yes, you can use a satchel, you can use the updraft here, but as soon as you use the satchel or updraft, you want to peek immediately. Because it's very audible, and if enemies are, you know, not playing at the backside, they're gonna pre-aim you.
Bring them down.
Okay, we tanked a lot of damage. Okay. I mean, there was no supporting that jet there. Like, going into the site with that jet would be an absolute Sudoku move. Because the Viper Molly is on our feet, and we cannot do it.
Yo, listen to what he says.
No, that was Sudoku move. What he said, he probably hear us. Let's mute it.
Like, you go in.
When is the N word coming? 9-9.
The 9-9.
9-9. Okay. Interesting jump spotting technique. Jump spotting angle. Here, like, instead of making so much sound and doing this random mumbo jumbo shit, what we should have tried to do is like a 20-second rule. You know, cut the noise for 20 seconds and try to re-hit the same site. Chances are really high that enemies might pull the rotation from A to B, or that you might surprise them. Like, I've explained the 20-second rule, like, in the coaching videos that I've shared with you.
Look, you guys leave or not?
Like, as I said, like, that angle there, like, I don't know. With the satchels and updraft, I don't know if it is even worth it to go up there. Because satchels and updraft are so, like, audible. And, I don't know. Like, I would probably go there only with the Omen teleport. Or play that angle in the post-plant. Okay, it was a bonus round, no problemo. Now, we fake A, and we go B.
Can I get a drop?
Shh. Ooh, that footstep. And listen, like, literally whenever you're playing against the KO, especially if you're doing this faking strategy, like, just wait for the knife. You don't need to push immediately. Wait for the knife, wait to see where KO is gonna drop a knife. And then after like 3, 4, 5 seconds, initiate a push. Generally speaking, when you're playing against the KO, if you cannot destroy his knife, you need to wait for his knife first. Usually KO players, especially below Immortal 3 lobbies, have the mental deficiency, and they usually drop the knife within the first 2 seconds of a round. Let him drop a knife, wait if he's gonna do it on A or B, and then initiate a push.
He's hiding it. I checked it. I thought we were going B.
Okay. This angle is really good, like, against, like, claw type of smokers, like, especially when they have the claw, like, you can literally see the enemies at the backside, behind the claw smoke. That's a good kill by the Viper. All good, brother. We move on to the next round. Okay, 2 times in a row, our 5-man pushes got stopped. I mean, like, this is the time where I would definitely try to test the enemies on B and see how they actually play the B site. Especially when the enemies don't have a sentinel, defending B is really tough. Good nade, I think? Yeah, we missed it. Like, that nade is, I mean, if we hit it, it would be good to pressure that claw from that position. generally speaking, like when you're pushing B side with Raze, 90% of the times you want to use the nade to pressure the enemy behind the side there and just do this nade, you know, or simply do this nade. That is your job. So this guy needs to peek left, and essentially you have easy time settling, you know, here across the side. Then we can pressure the enemy with a boombot, and that's it. Like, my main pathing is this, especially when the enemies don't have a sentinel that is putting some stupid tripwires there, etc., etc. Like, if you have time.
What if you sorry, what if they have a sentinel? How should you route?
If they have a sentinel, then I would path primarily from the main area of the map. Like, essentially, I would just, you know, and I very rarely go into the window. Like, fuck the window. Like, go from this position, jump spot the enemies here, you know, jump spot the enemies there, and now, like, you know, just send the nade in front of, send the nade like at the backside, send the boombot like maybe towards this position, or once again towards the backside, and simply just use one satchel to get into this spot, or double satchels to get at the backside. When you're pushing B side, you really need to move with your team. You know, like, taking the site alone is impossible, especially if you're playing Raze. Like, I mean, you have a smoke. Like, as your teammates are pathing, path with them, you know, like, and that's kind of it.
That's backside. That's backside.
Unlucky.
Last player standing.
Okay, that's the first time we saw the enemies go for that flank alert.
Round B.
Oh, in this round, I would actually test the B side one more time. Why? Because, like, I mean, the last round, push didn't work not because enemies did something special. We were playing an eco halberd round. Who cares? Like, I mean, eco halberd rounds, mostly you lose because, you know, you have bad economy compared to the enemy team. So, like, try it again. It's more unpredictable. And then from the next round, based on how our push goes, we need to start taking the mid control and pressuring enemies on mid. And that is going to be our 6th round. We didn't have a lot of success doing the 5-man pushes thus far. When you notice that 5-man pushes on A and B are not working, we need to punish the enemies on mid and try to see. Play more default. See if enemies are going to push us, you know. Isolate 50-50 fight. Same as on Breeze. That's why I hate Breeze and Abyss, because you will need to force a lot of stupid 50-50 fights. That boombot is absolutely wasted again. I mean, especially if you notice that enemies are not even taking the aim and control aggressively. Why would you do it? Listen, when you're playing Raze on any map, if you have the ultimate, you should always call your teammates to do a 5-man push somewhere. Like, your ultimate is such a great tool to pressure the enemies off the site, to take one easy kill, and you should never split the map default or some shit like that. 5-man A push, 5-man B push, and that's it. I mean, like, you heard that guy, like, dropping behind you, to be honest. Like, especially with the Raze ultimate, I think much better pathing, like, is going from the right side. Because you're avoiding any potential tripwires, deadlock traps, whatever the fuck they have here. You know, and it's more unpredictable as well, you know, going from here. Like, doing the ultimate, doing 2 satchels, I mean, satchel, ultimate satchel, and then you see all of the angles. You're much faster here in the CT as well, and then we can just drop some random ultimate through the smoke, or pressure the enemies, you know, on the angles where we think that they're playing or hiding at that moment of time. Definitely prioritize this routing with the ultimate on A set at least.
And also, what can I do against them jumping out? Because they've done this like for 3 rounds now.
Be aware of it. Like, I mean, as I said, like, you're putting way too much focus at the backside when you go out on the A side. Brother, like, your job is just to get here. On top of this box right here. You get on top of that box, wait for your team. You just need to observe one angle. This angle. You know, drop from the window. your teammates are getting in a fight against the enemies that are here and here, that is when you peek here and you go on top of the boxes and peek there. Like you're here much faster than the rest of your team. Move together with your teammates. Okay. When you're peeking the aim and angle, like generally speaking, the best peek that you can do, if you're already, you know, wanna swing it, is always from this bench right here. Because like people usually have either this crosshair placement or this crosshair placement. But no one is gonna have a crosshair placement all the way up here.
Also, you should probably mute audio.
What?
Mute audio.
Yep. N-word incoming, huh? Okay. Ooh, that was mega giga aggressive. Listen, when you're exiting bomb sets with Raze and you have a spike, like just drop spike in the main area of the map. At the end of the day, if you take a map control, we can pick up the spike immediately. If you die, at least you're not sending the spike back at the enemy lines. But in this round, for an example, I mean, you already noticed that your 5-man pushes are not working after that 6th round, and I definitely would have started lurking more on mid, like playing default, like 1-3-1, trying to contest enemies on mid, trying to maybe open the mid doors and then regrouping and hitting something together. Like it's the same map as Breeze, for an example. Like on Breeze, when you notice that 5-man pushes are not working, you need to take the mid control and, pray to God that we're gonna pick some good 50-50 duels, essentially, like on that map, together with our teammates. Like, exactly how I explained how you should play Breeze, that's how we play this stupid map as well. But to be honest, like, don't get it mistaken, like, I think we gave up on B site way too early. Like, we only did one push on B. One time enemies effed us up. And we gave up on B. Why? Like, we don't know if enemies are good on B side. They have a quite good agents to defend A side. Viper with a Molotov, Brimstone with a Molotov. A lot of smokes. But on B side, like, all of the smokes are kind of like, you can see the enemies around him, Like, I don't know, there's not a single good smoke for B. Like, I think when you're smoking the B side, at the end of the day, the best idea is to smoke, like, I don't know, this and this, like, a window and this and that, those are your smokes, like. But smoking here and, I don't know, smoking here, like, what, it's really fucked up, to be honest. Because enemies can always pick some angles to see you and then F you up. Smokes are not doing anything on B side, to be honest. Unless you're pushing against the Viper wall. But Viper was always doing the wall on A. And she was playing A side. Okay, we play default. We got a kill. Now, listen, man, like, when you're doing rotations, like, don't trust anyone. Like, clear everything. Like, this Fade, she probably didn't observe all of these angles and clear all of these angles properly. Especially because the Fade started the round on tower right here in the nest. There was a chance for an enemy to do this. You don't know. Like, I would be very careful that one enemy might be below us and killing us through the window right now. And also, one reason why I'm probably not gonna do that many VOD reviews in my private coaching sessions on Abyss. Abyss is really a highly mechanical map. Like, basically, as you get better mechanically in terms of your angle clearing, pathing, pushing, you just naturally get better on a map because it's same as fucking Breeze. A lot of long-range gunfights, a lot of 50-50 duels, like, it's just stupid. Now here, like, I just don't know, like, why you didn't pressure this guy with a nade. Like, I think that also when I was watching you during the coaching, you need to pressure enemies more with utility. Like, make them panic and then go for a peek. That guy is stuck there, pull out a nade, pressure the jet, even if your Fade dies. Okay, at least you're gonna get a kill. It's an equal round anyways. Maybe we can magically win this round somehow.
No, bro.
Okay, we're going mid. Well, with us, you alt tabbed. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Listen here. Now, whenever your teammates get a kill somewhere, like basically on this map, whenever you make a numbers advantage, true numbers advantage, like just hold for a regroup in some main area of the map and push the site like the round just started. Like here, for example, if my teammate got a kill on mid, well, fuck it, I'm running. You know, they also open the A site. I'm just going on A with my claw, with my deadlock. I'm leaving the fate to flank lurk, and that's it. Especially here, after you kill the enemy jet, but fuck the fate. We are 5v3. I don't care what fate is gonna do. I'm just gonna play with deadlock, with a claw, and try to win the round with them.
He's down.
One enemy. Player standing.
Winnable round. Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Listen, like, I mean, okay, that's fine. Good jump spotting. Let's see the execute. Good crosshair placement, very nice. No, don't do the nade for the tower, man. Like, basically, when you're playing Raze, like 90%, 99% of the times, you should do the nade for the backside here. Especially, like, as soon as you see that at least one of your teammates is jumping from here to here, you need to pop the nade. Like, that nade is mega important, so that enemies are not peeking us from here and catching us off guard as we are, you know, bunny hopping here, you know, playing Mario, like, Nintendo 64 shit. Like, and also, like, it would be good if you develop some kind of a lineup for that nade, because, you know, it can be, you know, you don't want to do this, like, for an example, and then it's stuck in the boxes. Like, maybe if you hold this wall and do a run and throw, aim up there, that's not good enough. Like, maybe we do a run and throw here. Is that okay? Ah, that's okie dokie, to be honest. Like, essentially, that's gonna be sufficient enough to support your teammates that are pushing from the left side.
But how can I not nade myself when I'm throwing it in like the close area, like when the jet was playing that front of the site?
Okay, let's talk about that. Just a second to come back into the server. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I posted them in the chat so I can review them. But let me get a basic question. Basically, how can I learn to practice? I'm still having some problems with understanding angle perception. Even though you said through experience I learned more, I'm still like, how can I practice like dedicated things for angle perception?
But literally the best idea to practice that is like just to practice through trial and error as you're holding the angles. But I've completely covered that, like, in my movement and positioning guide on YouTube. And also, like, there is a coaching video that I'll share with you called, like, Valorant Game Mechanics that covers that topic as well. I don't know what's the, you know, like, when it comes to, like, wait a second. Like, essentially, like, you just don't want to play close to the walls, like, and that's it. Like, if the distance between you, wall, and an enemy is equal, that's okay. If you have higher distance, that's good. If you have lower distance, that's bad. When you have lower distance, you need to essentially, like, you know, either reposition and get a better angle to hold, or like hold it in a different way by jiggle picking it or shit like that. I don't know, like, it's that topic is completely covered in the videos that I'll share with you. I don't know what's the problem, like, and I mean, generally speaking, like, every single angle in Valorant you hold in a slightly different way, you know, like, there are some general rules to follow. Like, if you're holding the elevated positions, like, you always want to hold them with a drop off. Like, you know, this spot I would always hold like this, so I'm not exposed from that angle, and, you know, I can just hold this, take a shot, reposition fast, even if I miss the shot. Like it's a 70-30 angle. Now, if I'm holding this, if some enemy is holding this position, and enemies can be in multiple different vertical and horizontal positions, we always want to jump spot them, and then go for the peek closer from the wall with the perfect crosshair placement for the, you know, maximum peekers advantage. Like, I don't know, like this topic is really covered, like, in all of the videos that I've shared with you. Like, and also in the Jet Rank playbook, I explained, like, how to play every angle in the game, how to hold it properly, should you jiggle peek it, should you, like, hold it like this, like that. Like, that's, you know, just watch the videos, apply the rules from the videos, and that's it. And also, like, if you're getting punished a lot while holding some angle in a specific way, that probably means that you can hold it a bit better. That's why, like, you know, every single rule that I give you, there's always some kind of an exception to that rule. Like, yes, like in Valorant, a general rule is, like, you want to keep yourself away from the walls, you know, and when you're holding the angles, you either want to jiggle peek them, hold them tight, you know, as tight as your reaction time allows you, and stuff like that. But there are some angles that I actually hold, for an example, like this, for an example. There are some angles that we cannot, we can hold statically, like, so, you know, if you have a problem, like, brother, I coached you, like, you have my 24/7 support. If you truly want to learn how to hold every angle in the game, just every single day, show me like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips where you get punished on some angle, and I'm gonna tell you why you got punished and what you can do better next time. That is the best way to improve, like, adaptiveness and overall understanding of the game.
Okay. Second question is, I don't feel like 3 is gonna be enough for me to be able to get the experience I need. What should I do?
What do you mean 3?
I don't feel like it's enough. Like 3 games a day, sorry.
Well, play more if you have time to play more. Like,
but what do you suggest, like, I should do in order to, like, get a lot of time into Valorant? Like 4 or 5, or just minimum 3, and then any more?
but basically, like, minimal optimal amount of games is 3 ranked games per day, and that's it. Like, I'm not forbidding you to play more if you have time to play more. Like,
And should I worry about what time I play at? Like, playing only at 9 to 5?
I don't know which videos you watched, but you didn't watch my videos. I explained that as well, like in the training example that I shared with you. Like, I mean, in every training example, I explained that topic. Like, basically, avoid playing Valorant very early in the mornings and very late at nights. Like, basically, usually the best moment of time to play Valorant is somewhere in between, like, 12 p.m. or 1 p.m., starting at 12 p.m. or 1 p.m., and then all the way up to, like, 9, maximum 10 or 11. Maximum 11 p.m. Because from 10 p.m., 11 p.m., all the way to, you know, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. next day, that's just the worst time to play. Like, you never know with who the fuck you're playing. Generally speaking, early in the mornings, you might get some players that played enormous amount of matches. They stay you know, all night playing Valorant. Brother, you don't want to play with these gorillas. Like, you just don't want to experience that. And also playing late at night, the problem is, like, once again, you might play with some guy that played like 15 matches, lost 10, won 5. He's playing his 16th match. You think he's gonna perform well. And I think, you know, usually when I get the best experience in Valorant is somewhere between, like, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Max, you know, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Like, playing at evening, essentially, is usually the best. Especially during the business days, because, you know, like, all of the people that don't have time to play Valorant, they're probably working or they're in school, like, and all of the players that are true grinders, that are no life in the game, they actually play Valorant.
Sorry if I asked, like, the questions many times, because sometimes I forget, you know. That's why.
All good. Next one.
And I'll leave the rest for the questions, because for the end, because those are more personal questions. Like, should I change the grip style? Because I still feel like I'm not really getting the aim improvement like I've been doing for the aim training.
Okay.
Because I still don't feel like any improvement.
What were we talking about, actually? Yeah, Raze nade. So basically, you know the Jet is here, stuck. What's the problem of doing this and then peeking the Jet? Like, yeah, she can run away, but If she decides to go right, she's fucked. If she decides to go left, okay, I can still peek her while she's going left and potentially get a kill. Like, the whole point of the Raze utility is to make the enemies run and distracted. And catch them off guard when they are distracted by your utility. And you're not utilizing Raze utility in that way enough. Like, there's a lot of fights where you forget to use your utility, kinda. Here, like, you know, let's figure out the lineup for this. I mean, you don't need some special lineup, so you play here. There is a smoke here. We aim up here, run and throw, bam. That's good. That's more than good, to be honest. Like, I think that an average player in Valorant will definitely run from that shit. And if they stay still, like, they're gonna tank enormous amount of damage.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
we lined up there quite badly. So let's see this round. Listen, this is kind of like a stupid buy option. When you have a Raze ultimate and you're playing an eco round, I would actually run it down with, you know, heavy shield and ultimate. Like, I would just use the ultimate as my main weapon to get a kill and potentially get a gun from the dead enemies. And here your teammates are kind of forcing anyways. So what I would buy here is a heavy shield, sheriff, and try to win this round. Anyways, like, this is probably the last round for us because, you know, there is no way. Like, your teammates, I mean, you need to force in this round, actually. Like, this might potentially be a last round. I don't know why we are saving. Like, who tells you you're gonna win this round? Okay, Viper is out. Doors. I really don't know why you just stood here waiting for doors to break down with a sheriff in a close range gunfight. Do you know how precise you need to be to kill this guy? I mean, even if you surprise him, he has a Vandal, automatic weapon. He doesn't need to aim, he can just spray you down and that's it. If I heard that hero pushing me, I would pop the ultimate instantly, destroy the doors with a satchel or something and run him down. Or wait for him to destroy the doors. As he is destroying them, pop the ultimate, kill him, take the gun, and try to win this round. That was just a bad game decision overall. Like, definitely, as one guy in the chat said right now, like, you need to use your utility more to get the fights that you want. You know, like, to put the enemies in a position where it is easy for you to fight them. Like, instead of just, you know, randomly wasting it or not pressuring the enemies at all. Overall, Abyss, really fun map to play. It's gonna be pain in the ass. Good luck with that map because it's like Breeze 2.0, and I cannot wait to have like Breeze and Abyss in the same queue. That's gonna be insane. Generally speaking, like, I have nothing really to teach you more on this map because I really, you know, I played this map like 7 times in ranked. I tried like a very limited amount of stuff. Everything that I said is something that is just speculations, like how I would play the map. Nothing is kind of set in stone. But, you know, you still need to work on the Raze specific stuff anyways.
Okay.
So, like, do you have any more questions?
Is this gonna be over if I ask the questions, or we're gonna do a second VOD?
We're doing the second WOD, but ask the questions first.
Okay. Should I change my grip style? Because I still feel like even though I'm practicing my aim and everything, I don't feel like it's improving at all the micro corrections. Like, not even one single bit.
How should I know that? I didn't see your grip style for one and a half year. Like,
I sent a VOD of me using grip and showed you the grip
when?
like a month or two ago.
Oh yeah, like
Deathmatch.
actually you're right. Like, but what did I tell you then?
Just keep the same.
I don't know. Like, if I told you to keep the same, you just keep the same. Like, probably that's not the main problem. But listen, if you feel that some other grip style would benefit you, sure, fine. Like, but I don't know. I didn't really. You don't have the raw mechanical problems. Like your problems are more like gameplay related. Like sometimes you're just panicking and spamming with the weapons like an idiot. Like sometimes you're just not ready for a fight. You're out of focus, maybe looking at the minimap. Like majority of your problems are just mechanical problems, are simply gameplay related, not really raw mechanical skill. I feel that in terms of your raw mechanics, you're more than capable of contesting like an average low immortal player, which is totally fine, like for now.
Mm-hmm. Then yeah, I'm still having the problem of being able to read teammates. Is it just like the juggling act? Because I still don't feel like I can really adapt and really understand the teammates sometimes.
For how much did you do the map awareness training I gave you? Like
2-3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. I mean, like that really comes more with experiences. Basically, like I think that one of your main problems right now is that you still didn't dial down your own gameplay and reading the enemies, and that is still distracting you a lot, you know. So for now, just try to focus still on polishing out all of your executes, utility usage, how you want to play the maps, how you want to hold the angles, how you want to take the fights, and also focusing on how to counter the enemies. And then it's gonna be easier for you to actually focus on what the fuck your teammates are doing. Because I still don't think you're at a stage in your gameplay where you can put enormous amount of focus on what your allies are doing.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's do the Lotus, but let me just end this video because this is gonna be only the Abyss. Okay, guys. All of you guys on a second YouTube channel or main YouTube channel, I don't know. Thank you for watching this VOD review. Leave a like, leave a comment. I still absolutely have no idea how to play this map, to be honest. Even though I have like 80% win rate somehow magically. I'm still testing the stuff. The Abyss rank playbook is going to be completed until the end of August. It's going to take me some time to figure out all of the execute smokes, like what is going to give you the highest chances of winning your rounds in games. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the map thus far. I personally don't like it at all for ranked. Feels very random, a lot of gambling mechanics involved, but you know, Breeze 2.0, but you know, it's fun to play at least, if not more fun than Breeze in my opinion. Join my Discord server for coaching. Also, there's giveaways there, and also like yeah, that's kinda it. Twitch live streams, twitch.tv/charlatan, you know, daily streams, all of the good stuff is there. Yeah, that's it. Ba ba boo, ba ba ba.